I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. Ain't no mystery, man. I know you though. Man, I know you know. I know.
Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. He's going to prison.
I said a while ago when T.I.'s son King was getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat in the media, that to me he just looked like a young kid that wanted to prove to his father that he was a man.
King Harris's legal woes spiraled further after Tiny filed for divorce from T. The split reportedly stemmed from her frustration with T's decision to distance himself from King following his recent arrest. Interestingly, T isn't contesting the divorce or attempting to reconcile, leaving the situation even more complicated. Now, family tensions are running high, with fingers being pointed in all directions. Everyone seems to be questioning who's truly at fault, whether it's the parents who provided King with everything, or King himself, who appeared to reject it all in favor of a dangerous, gangster-like lifestyle. For many, the news of Tiny and T's separation came as a shock. The couple had shared decades together and weathered countless challenges. Yet, cracks in their relationship had long existed. The final straw arrived in October 2024, shortly after King's reckless behavior landed the family in the public eye. That day, King was leaving a gas station in his BMW, driving carelessly as he often did, and nearly collided with a police vehicle. But the situation deteriorated rapidly once officers pulled him over. Immediately, they detected the smell of marijuana and discovered a firearm tucked into his pants. Things were already grim for King, but the real shock came when they ran his name. It turned out there was an outstanding arrest warrant from 2022 related to speeding, driving on a suspended license, and a DUI. With these violations stacking up, King's predicament had become undeniably serious, putting both him and the family under intense scrutiny.
All bad news.
I need you to step out the vehicle.
What you want to do? You want to take my gun off my head?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
There's guns on there.
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You gotta take.
There's no safety.
Just take
Okay.
the clip out.
Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. You'd step
Can I
out
get
for
out
me.
now?
Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest.
Are you straight?
I'm gonna be at the church. All right, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't feeling this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
King
He
could
could have
have
slipped
avoided
away.
the chaos that day if he had simply stayed composed. Instead, all of his past missteps caught up with him at once. Once the arrest footage hit the internet, viewers shredded him online. What became immediately clear from the video was that King understood he had gone too far this time. While he doesn't break down in the roughly 30-minute clip, the regret in his eyes is unmistakable. It's as if he realizes that the only way to salvage the situation is to cooperate fully, a difficult feat for someone like King, known for his impulsive public behavior. In contrast to his usual social media persona, the video showed a surprisingly controlled side of him. Even the arresting officer commented on how composed King remained throughout the ordeal. Still, that composure didn't prevent him from being booked into Dalb County Jail before being transferred to Pickens County after the outstanding warrant was resolved. When the clip went viral, the public didn't hold back. One viewer jokingly labeled him a trust fund prison punk, a comment that quickly racked up likes for its humor. Others criticized him for trying to appear self-made while relying on his parents' wealth. But King wasn't the only one affected. The fallout extended into his family, worsening the cracks in his parents' marriage and pushing it toward collapse. Tip tried to appear as the supportive, broken-hearted father, but Tiny was furious, and she had the evidence to prove it. In her divorce filings, she directly cited King's downward spiral as the reason for ending the marriage. Surprisingly, T didn't resist or try to reconcile. From his perspective, he had fulfilled his role as a parent, and King's troubles were the result of his own choices. Harsh as it sounds, that truth cannot be denied. Back in 2022, when King first began gaining attention for his reckless behavior online, T pleaded with him to slow down. He warned that King was heading towards serious trouble and could land in jail if he didn't change course. T had also voiced these concerns to Tiny and King's grandmother, stressing the need to keep a close eye on him before he squandered his life. And T's warnings weren't just words from a worried father. They came from someone who had experienced prison firsthand and understood the high cost of going down that path. He didn't want to watch another young life spiral out of control.
Hitting me and giving me my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his going to prison. If you got to keep that shit up, they going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know their energy. I was their energy. I know.
Tiny, however, wasn't convinced. If anything, the situation only strengthened her case against T in the divorce proceedings. She argued that T had failed to fully step into his role as a father and that, had he been more consistent and involved, King might not have strayed so far down the wrong path. And she had a point. T's repeated stints in prison coincided with the period when Tiny first realized she was pregnant with King. By the time T was finally out for good, King had already grown accustomed to life without a steady father figure. Even when T was around, his presence reportedly made little impact, as he allegedly sent King to live with his grandmother. King himself revealed that, despite coming from a wealthy family, he didn't experience the privileges of his parents' wealth because most of his childhood was spent at his grandmother's home. The only occasions he visited his parents' house were when they were filming for their reality TV show. In such an environment, it's understandable that King sought excitement and attention elsewhere. Each reckless act only nudged him closer to a future where jail time seemed inevitable. A particularly telling example of King's spiraling behavior occurred in 2022 at a Waffle House. The incident began over a minor mistake. An employee added pickles to King's order without permission. That small mix-up escalated into a full-blown yelling match, which King filmed and shared on social media. Instead of projecting an image of toughness, the video painted him as a spoiled, entitled teenager, and cast T in a critical light for allegedly letting King run unchecked.
Wild. Stop talking. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping over you. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Fire show. Come back. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. I'll tell you what I do. Come here. I'll tell you what I do. Come here. Come here.
When T recorded that video cautioning King, it set Tiny off, as she felt he should have been giving those lessons and guidance years earlier. But he hadn't. For a while, things seemed to settle between them, yet T's frustration with King never truly disappeared. That tension eventually boiled over during an Atlanta Falcons game, where an argument between father and son quickly escalated into a physical confrontation. The dispute ignited when King made remarks about not growing up with certain privileges, which immediately irked T. He stepped in to correct him, reminding King that he had, in fact, been raised with every advantage imaginable. King wasn't willing to back down, and before long, the disagreement turned into a full-on altercation. From the footage, it's clear that the clash was intense. T seemed on the verge of losing control, treating the situation less like a father disciplining a child and more like a fight he was ready to win.
King. To make him look better, he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You to hold your breath.
Every day.
I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up.
I know you.
Ain't no mystery about here.
I know you though.
Man,
I know you
get
though.
your-
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business.
The clip went viral within hours, racking up thousands of likes, with many viewers applauding T for putting King in his place. Comments flooded in suggesting that King needed a serious reality check. Sometimes you ignore the warning signs, and they come back to bite you, one fan wrote. King had clearly been spiraling out of control, and many expressed concern for the family. Tiny, however, was far from pleased. She didn't appreciate T publicly humiliating King, and her frustration only grew when she got home to discover that T had kicked King out, forcing him to fend for himself. In her eyes, he had gone too far. This incident deepened the fissures in their marriage, ultimately motivating her decision to sever ties with T. In her divorce filing, Tiny listed T's long history of infidelity and past violent behavior. 4 years, she had watched him cheat and make promises of change, only to repeat the cycle. Those accumulated lies, combined with King's downward spiral, made her realize that she wasn't just angry at her son, she was confronting the father who had failed to break the cycle. This recognition was what finally led her to cut T off. The most painful truth for Tiny was seeing King mirror T's mistakes. The jail stints that once cemented T's tough guy image were now becoming King's reality. So, when T disowned King after his latest arrest, Tiny couldn't hold back. He was rejecting his own reflection. That's why the divorce papers were filed. King's desperation for his father's approval is evident in his behavior, especially in the way he flaunts guns. After the arrest footage went viral, some viewers speculated that King deliberately walked into trouble to earn street credibility, while others said he had finally proven himself as the rugged persona he's longed to be. Many believed his reckless actions were attempts to capture T's attention and respect, and in some ways, they succeeded. A clear example came during a music video shoot involving King and Booz's son, Tutti Ra. Rather than focusing on the music, the boys were showing off firearms as if they were in a trap house. That's when T and Boozy stepped in. T's voice, filled with disappointment, questioned King about prioritizing toughness over responsibility, especially with girls present. What followed was a stern lecture, with T making it clear that one misstep involving guns or illegal activity could ruin their lives. The seriousness of the moment left no doubt. They weren't joking around.
So motherfucking 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too there a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too.
Huh?
Well, when you got drugs, it ain't.
Y'all
Y'all got drugs around those legal guns.
That called
It's not legal.
possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. Thank you.
Rumors swirled that King's baby mama, Big Nana, was older than him, and some suggested she may have been after money, with King too young to recognize it. But he didn't care. He was thrilled and embraced fatherhood wholeheartedly. When the baby arrived in November 2024, King was overjoyed, fully committing to his new role as a dad. He shared his excitement online, posting updates and even composing a song called Dear Son, rapping about stepping up as a father. He captioned one post, November 5th, 8:09 a.m. Welcome King Jr. time to take over. For a moment, it seemed like fatherhood was changing King, teaching him patience and responsibility. Tiny found some relief in watching King try to be a present parent, correcting mistakes that T had made in raising him. Yet, the timing couldn't have been worse. As King played the proud dad online, the footage of his arrest continued circulating, a stark reminder that trouble still followed him. Throughout it all, T attempted to be a supportive father, but his disappointment in King was evident. For Tiny, that was unforgivable. While she might have overlooked other issues, seeing T so ashamed of their son, so much that he couldn't even live under the same roof with him, was devastating. When the divorce papers were finally filed, it came as no surprise. It was the last straw in a marriage that had been fracturing for years. Tiny was done. She wasn't covering for anyone anymore. The only remaining question was what T would do next, because if he continued to stay silent about King, this family might already be beyond repair.